Our next example, 2D, will be finding a relationship between theta and the sine of theta. So I'm going to scroll over on my second tab to column N, and I'm going to insert a symbol that represents theta. So I'm going to go to my Insert tab, come over here to Symbols. I want to do equation. I just want to do a symbol. And if I scroll down, so somewhere in the middle of the page is a theta. I happen to have it down here in my recently used symbols. I just select it, type insert and close. There's my theta. And I'm going to go back to my home page. I'm going to put a space, parentheses, in degrees, just to specify that this theta is in degrees and not radians. Notice that degrees is using the Arial font, but if I highlight theta, it's switched to symbol font. So that's another way to come up with the theta, is just to go scroll down to get to the symbol font at the bottom of this pull down menu. In my case, and you can just type the letter Q. That's the Greek letter for theta. And I want my theta, my independent variable theta, to go from 0 to 90 in increments of 5. There's my pattern. I'll highlight my pattern, grab the lower right hand corner box and drag it down to 90. And I really want to find the sine of theta. So y is equal to the sine of theta. So this time I will type the letter Q, and I told you that would be a theta if I use the symbol. So I'll highlight Q, I'll come over here to my font, I'll drag down till I find symbol, and there it is. I'll hit enter. I'll hit equals, and I'm going to find the sine of that angle. Well, to get a function, I can click on this insert function button next to my toolbar. Another way of doing it is coming up to the formula toolbar, and here's all my categories. And this one over here, this little one over here with the theta on it, is the math and trig. And I am going to look for the sine. And it will not surprise you that it's SIN. I'll click on sine, and it returns the sine of an angle, and the number is the angle in radians, not in degrees, in radians, for which you want to find the sine. So you'll notice we're going to have a little problem here. If I click on my little window here, I want to take the sine of the angle next to my dependent variable. So that's, in this case, N2, 0 degrees. I'll hit enter, enter. And if I drag this formula down, you'll see the numbers don't look quite right, because you know the sine of 90 is 1, and you know the sine of 30 degrees is 0.5. Well, this goes back to the help that they were giving you on the sine function. So make sure you read the instructions on each function when you pull it up. It said it was taking the sine of an angle in radians. This is not in radians. My column N, my independent variable, is in degrees. So what I want to do is I want to convert my theta from degrees into radians. So I'm going to insert a column. I'm going to highlight my column O. I'm going to right click to pull up a menu, and I'm going to choose insert, and that will just kick my dependent variable off to the side. And now I'm going to create theta in degrees. I'm just gonna copy that cell and come over here and paste it. And notice it maintains the formatting for theta, which is kind of nice. And I'm going to change this degrees into radians. Now there's a function, thankfully, in Excel that translates degrees into radians. So I'm going to type equals. I'll come up to the formula toolbar, do math and trig. And I will scroll down until I find a function called radians, converts degrees to radians, and all it wants is an angle in degrees. So that's in the cell next to us, my independent variable. Enter, enter. Now I drag this formula down. Now everything should work, right? Well, not quite. When I kick this column, my dependent variable over, it kept, if I double click on any of these dependent variables, it's still referencing the theta in degrees, and I don't want to do that. I want to reference now the theta in radians. So I'm going to erase that, and I'm going to choose the theta in radians. I'll hit enter, drag this formula down, and now you'll see that looks familiar. I got the sine of 30 degrees is a half and the sine of 90 is 1, so I'm feeling pretty comfortable about that. I'll highlight, or I'll format this table by going to my second example, 2b, and I'll highlight. This formatting looks like something I can use. I can go to the Home tab, and I'll just highlight that. Okay, and that worked out pretty good. I just got to put a thick border on the bottom.